all conversant so far. I'm happy that all of us are conversant with the previous lessons. So straight away, let us go to our today's lesson. Our today's lesson is about, our lesson today is about half steps and full steps. Half steps and whole steps. That is what was in our invitation to today's class, that we're talking about half steps and full steps. So I have here my piano with a lot of keys, and I've learned that these keys have different names. Just a second. I'm recording my audio, please. I'm recording my audio for the YouTube channel. Senior Bishop. Thank you. So I will be able to answer to the questions in the chat section later. I can see all of them, please. Hesbon Ojuang is asking if he has lost my screen. Kindly someone confirm with me that my screen is still visible.
It's very visible, Pastor Emmanuel.
Yes, please. Hesbon Ojuang, you can just try to refresh your internet. Thank you. So today, beloved people, we want to learn about whole steps and half steps. We've learned that this piano, we have all these white keys down here. We also have the black keys. We've known that the white keys take after the names, the first 7 names of the alphabet, which is A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And the black keys, we've known that they take after the names of the white keys, depending on the white key which it is named after. If it is the white key towards the right, it will be a sharp of that white key. If it is the white key towards the left, it will be sorry, if it is the white key towards the right, it will be a flat of that white key. If it is the white key towards the left, it will be the sharp of that white key. So we gave examples. For instance, if we have these 2 keys right here, which is key D and key E, then this black key right in the middle, if it is taking after the name of this key towards its right, it will be E flat. If it's taking on the name of this key towards its left, it will be D sharp. Then we also gave ways to know how to start naming the white keys. We said the white key that is before the 2 black keys which are in the groups of 2, like in this case this one, the white key to the immediate left is key C. And in the groups of 3, the white key which is towards to the immediate left, that white key is key F. So straight away, now having that knowledge, now let's now get to our today's lesson, which is whole steps and half steps. In music, what are whole steps and half steps? When we are playing the keyboard or the piano in a certain order, maybe say left to right or right to left. If I'm having my key F here, for instance, if I want to play towards my right, I may decide to play all these keys one after the other, and I'll play every key to the farthest key towards my right. In music, what we call half step. Now I hope someone is writing down. Half step is the shortest interval in music. half step is the shortest in music. Half step is the distance from one key to the next adjacent key. Let me just change something about my audio real quick, please. I can hear there is something wrong. Yes, Pastor Steve, I'm still audible, right?
Yes, you're very audible, please.
Thank you. In music, as we've said, when someone speaks about half a step, that person is talking about the shortest interval. That person is talking about adjacent keys, the distance from one key to the next adjacent key. The distance from one key to the next in a layman's language without skipping any key in the middle. David Toto, I hope your video, you are switching it off, please. David Toto, switch off your video, please. Now, the distance between one key to the next key without jumping any in the middle. That is now in a layman's language. In music, that is half a step, or what you also call a semitone. I repeat, a semitone or half a step is the shortest interval. In other words, it is the distance between one key to the next adjacent key. In a layman's language, movement from one key to the other without skipping any key in the middle. That is now what we call a semitone or a half step. What am I talking about? I'm going to pick any random key in my keyboard right now, and I'm going to place my hand here. If my hand is right here, and we have said that a semitone or half a step is the shortest interval, meaning it is the distance between one key and the next. So that means a semitone would be playing without skipping any key in the middle. Using that knowledge, a semitone from F, which my hand is on right now, that would be the next key next to F. Now, I want us to be very careful, because this is where some people tend to mess. Sometimes you find someone come and say that the next key from F is this, because ukiangalia chini, if you look down, if you don't look at the black key, really you see that white key is next to the black key. I'm sorry, that white key is next to the other white key I'm holding. That is a common mistake that people do. But now look at this. A semitone is the distance between one key and the next key. Then now that brings the question, from F towards your right, which is the next key? Someone just unmute your microphone and tell us which is the next key, which key is adjacent to F towards your right.
F sharp.
F sharp. Well done.
Yes.
So that tells us that the distance between F and F sharp or G flat, now that is a semitone. That is half a step. Someone is following.
Yes, please.
If I was in the key of A, let me take the key of B flat. A semitone from B flat, where would it land me?
B.
Well done. B. Now straight away we are learning that a semitone or half a step is it's the shortest interval, because from here I'm just going to this. There is no key in the middle. It is one key. It is the distance between one key and the next adjacent key. That applies throughout the entire keyboard. So if I was somewhere here and someone tells me go up by a semitone, go up by half a step, kindly, David Toto, kindly mute your microphone. Mute your audio, your video, sorry. So sorry about that. If I was in key D right here and someone tells me go up by a semitone, go higher by a semitone, which key would I go to?
D sharp.
D sharp. Well done. What if I was playing F and someone tells me go lower by a semitone, go lower by half a step, which key would I go to?
E major.
Well done, James.
Key E.
Key E. Up to that point, is there anyone who does not understand half steps and semitones? Half steps are technically half steps are semitones. So up that step, is there someone who does not understand half steps / semitones? Thank you very much.
Tafadhali unaweza kidogo hapo kwa semitone na half step.
It is well. A semitone, someone is writing, a semitone is the shortest distance, the shortest interval. A semitone or half a step is it is the distance between two adjacent keys. Semitone ni ile urefu kati ya key mbili ambazo zimeshikana. That is a semitone. If we are in this, and I gave an example, we'll just give other examples right now. If I am in this key, the key of G flat, a semitone or half a step, we've said, is the distance between two adjacent keys. Ni ile kutoka, ni ile distance kati ya key mbili ambazo zimeshikana. And then I asked us, if I come from the key of G flat, which key do I go to? And we said that is the key of G or the key of F. those are the keys immediately adjacent to the key of G flat. So this distance between G flat and G, that is what we call a semitone or half a step. That is what we call half step. The distance between this G flat and F, that is a half step. And we say that applies everywhere. If I come to this key, the distance between D and D flat is half step or a semitone. The distance between D and E flat is also half step. Did someone understand me? Does someone have a question, please?
Well understood.
Yes, sir. I am understanding, please.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for explaining.
Now that we have the knowledge about half steps, about semitones, now we jump to now what we call whole steps or tones. Now we have known that half steps and semitones, half steps slash semitone is the distance between two adjacent keys. But now we are presented with the whole steps forward slash tones. Now, what is a whole step or what is a tone? Now I'm going to make this as simple as possible. I said that half step is the distance between two adjacent keys, and I said in a layman's language key, that is half step or semitone. Now a whole step or tone, whole step is now the distance between two half steps. Whole step is now the distance, in a layman's language, it is the distance between two keys while we skip one key in the middle. Someone is following. Whole step is movement from one key to the other key while skipping one key in the middle. So we say whole step is two half steps. Half steps is the distance from one key to the next adjacent key. We gave the example, the distance from this key to this key, that is half step. But now we say whole step is two half steps. So that would mean that if we were in this key, two semitones to get to a whole step. The first semitone will land us here. The second semitone will land us here. So that would mean that a whole step from the key of B will be C sharp or D flat. And now straight away you see there is a key here which we've skipped. And that is why I said in a layman's language, a whole step, you will move a whole step when you skip a key in the middle. Using the same logic, if I was here, Now we know that half a step is the distance between this and this. And whole step is 2 half steps. So that means that a whole step from D, we will have to go 2 half steps. The first half step is this. The second half step brings us here. So a whole step between D, a whole step from D would be E. Someone is following. So I'm going to ask this. Can someone unmute their microphone and tell us that a whole step from E flat will be which key? The key of F.
F. C, F.
And then some of A. A whole step, if someone tells you, go higher, raise it by a whole step. Go higher by a whole step. Which key will you go to?
B.
Well done.
Key B.
And if someone tells you, go lower by a whole step, which key will you learn to?
EA.
A.
I'm in key A right now. If someone tells you from A, go lower by half a step, which key will you learn to?
G sharp. Key C.
G sharp. G sharp.
I think we still have a
G sharp.
problem in whole steps, because I can hear some people saying C, some are saying G sharp, some are saying G. So let me repeat. A whole step. We've said that half a step, a semitone or a half step is the shortest interval in the piano. It is the distance between one key to the next adjacent key. In other words, we are moving from one key to the next. Like here to this is half step. This to this is half step. This to this is half step, which we understood. And then now we come to whole steps. What is a whole step? A whole step, now we've said, a whole step is 2 half steps. A whole step is distance between 2 pitches. I don't know if someone is following.
Yes, we are following.
So if I have, for the instance, this, the key of D, half step brings us to E flat. But then we said, for a whole step, you have to move 2 half steps. So if my first half step brings me here, my second half step will bring me here. So a whole note from D, a whole step from D will bring me to E. In other words, I'm skipping one key in the middle. The key I've skipped here is the key of E flat. Then now I ask us, if I am in this key of A and someone tells me, play a whole note someone tells me go higher by a whole tone, by a whole step, go higher by a tone, go higher by a whole step or a tone from the key of A, which key will I land to?
Key B.
Key B. Very much okay. But then the same person tells me, while you are still there on A, go lower by a tone, go lower by a whole step. Which key will I land to?
Key G.
Very well. I will land to key G because I have skipped one key in the middle, which is A flat. Using the same logic, if I am in this key, the key, and someone tells me go lower by a tone, which key will I land to?
C sharp or D flat.
C sharp or D flat?
D flat.
Very much okay. Now I can see we are now getting a grasp of whole notes and of whole steps and half steps, of tones and semitones. Now just a quick reminder, a semitone is the distance between two adjacent keys. If it is from A flat to A, that is a semitone. The distance from D to E flat is a semitone. The distance from B flat to B is a semitone. Whole steps or tones is the distance between two half steps. In other words, if I am here, I will move two half steps. Half step 1, half step 2. The distance between B flat and C is a tone. If I am here, I'll move half step 1, half step 2. The distance between F and G is a tone. Up to that point. Does anyone have a question? Does anyone have a question, please? If there is no question, did anyone understand? If someone understood,
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
so
Amen.
much.
Amen. 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 Amen.
So our lesson today was supposed to be just on that: whole notes, whole tones, whole steps and half steps, tones and semitones. So I need us all to have a grasp, because our next lesson will start on scales, and you cannot start on scales if you are not conversant with sharps and flats, and also if you're not conversant with whole steps and half steps. We cannot start our lesson. I think I've already answered that question from Geoffrey Risangari. May I know the importance of half and whole note in music? We will now be able to use this knowledge of half steps. I'm sorry I keep on saying notes, of half steps and whole steps. Hallelujah. Caleb Sonondieki. Caleb Sonondieki, please stop sharing your screen. Caleb Sonondieki, please.
Yes, you're
Yes,
audible.
yes, you're audible.
Solo audible.
Oh, nimeona bonge.
Is my screen still
Still there,
visible?
Emmanuel.
Thank you.